I'm a 50-year-old. I'm a dentist. I do that for a living. Lived in Colorado for 20 years. Um, and I got 2 kids. I'm married, happily married. Be our 20th year this year. I came in because my wife was telling me that I was asking her to repeat what she had said more often than not. And so she was getting a little irritated, asked me if I could get my hearing checked. And I was a little apprehensive. I got small ears and I didn't want anything over top. As a dentist, I wear glasses and a mask, and I just felt like I had no more room left to put something in there. I think I lost my hearing gradually. I mean, yes, I went to concerts as a kid, and yes, I think it was part from working as a dentist and some of that drill noise. But I also think, my dad lost his hearing, and I don't think he did any of those things. So, but for me, it just kind of gradually came up, and then all of a sudden, people were noticing, and I wasn't. Everyone's chatting around the dinner table, and oftentimes I kind of just sit by myself, either watch TV, and oftentimes I just couldn't hear what they were saying, but I didn't realize that I was kind of just maybe being a little more to the side, and I wasn't really trying to ignore what they were saying, but I couldn't hear it, or I was missing something, missing the part of the word, but not really recognizing it, and they actually thought I was ignoring them. And it's actually sad to know that they'd actually felt that way. It was definitely a struggle to be going out in a noisy restaurant and not be able to hear. So you have a long table, and I'm sitting here. I could only really have a conversation over here, maybe even just the one person beside me, because I couldn't hear nothing over there. And I always just thought that it was just a noisy room, but it was more than that. After I talked to Dr. Reed and I talked about my concern about wearing something around my ears, she asked if she could measure the inside of my ear to see if I was a candidate for Lyric, which is the hearing aid that goes actually inside, which you can't see, but luckily for me, I guess, I was a candidate. So she asked if I would give it a try, and I happily agreed to give it a try, and it's changed my life. It's changed it. Well, when I first met Dr. Reed, we went into I guess it would be like a testing room, and spent maybe an hour or so trying to figure out kind of what I could hear, what I couldn't hear. And then with that, we talked about kind of what would work for what options I could have to kind of wear. To be honest with you, I didn't even know that there was something you can actually stick in there. So I was pleasantly surprised that the Lyric option was even available. That was a game changer, because I probably wouldn't have walked out with a hearing aid that day, to be honest with you. I probably would have not done anything. I probably would just have been, doing the same thing. Yep. Until I got a little older, maybe retired from work, something, you know what I mean? And so I'm so glad I don't have to wait that long. It was a little weird initially. Dr. Reed said the first 3 or 4 days was kind of an acclimating period, and the third day was that period. And it wasn't like I wanted to take them out of my ear. It was just every once in a while I just felt like there's something in there. I don't even think about it anymore at all. Every once in a while I'm like, I guess I got to come in and get them changed, because every once in a while I will know, because I stretch it out like 8 to 10 weeks. And when I get to like the 8th week, I start to notice that my hearing is just decreased just a little bit. I actually can know when it stops working a little bit. I guess that's because I've been doing it a while, but easy, 10, 15 minutes, put them in, take them out. That's it. Easy. So when I started wearing Lyric, I didn't have to change. I haven't changed anything in regards to what I do. If I was a full-time swimmer, I guess I'd have to worry about that. I've been on a plane. I've been in the shower. I've been in a pool. I've done all the things that that everybody does, and I haven't had to do anything different. I've been to a rock concert. I actually was able to put my little thing inside to turn it off and to use it as like an earplug, and that was amazing. You know, I didn't have to worry about taking them out, putting earplugs in, and I didn't have to worry about the loud noise. It was fantastic. The volume controls are really easy to use. Yeah, it's been fantastic. Very easy, very convenient. Since I started wearing Lyric, no one has noticed I've been wearing hearing aids. Unless I'm telling them I'm wearing hearing aids, nobody has a clue. They can't even believe it. I mean, I have to, even if I pull my ear back and ask them to look inside to see if they can see the little wire, you can't even see it. You know, it's unbelievable. I mean, I don't even care if you could even see the little wire. I'm just so happy it goes inside, you know, because I don't know if I could wear it around my ears. But my wife, I think, is a little happier that I don't have to have her repeat what we're talking about, because oftentimes I'd actually have to have her repeat what she'd said. You know, I wouldn't say she'd get upset, but irritated enough that I wasn't listening to her. And it really wasn't the fact that I wasn't listening to her, it's the fact that I just didn't really get all of it. I didn't get the whole conversation, so I just didn't know what I was missing. And believe it or not, I think that really changed, you know, since I've been wearing Lyric, that relationship dynamic, even amongst our friend groups who think that I may have been ignoring them, or I've been talking kind of silently. Oftentimes I have to kind of creep closer to the person that I'm talking to, kind of, you know, maybe just a little too close. I don't have to do that anymore. So for me, it was my son who said, one night I was at home, he was behind me and he was talking, and he said, "Wow, Dad, you actually could hear me." He wasn't in front of me, so I could read his lips, or I could actually hear him talk to me behind, which was, you know, amazing. I didn't actually realize how much I was missing.
Right.
That was the big surprise. What would I tell somebody else who's apprehensive about coming in? Well, if someone's telling you that you have repeating yourself, there's probably a good reason why. If you're a Lyric candidate and you don't want to have something around your ear, and you're 30, 40, 50, and you don't feel like you're old enough to wear a hearing aid, honestly, come in. It was pain-free, 1 hour, a few questions, a little fitting, and it was it's amazing. Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
truly.